Good morning, everybody. Hi, how are you? I hope everyone is doing fine and the school is almost over. I know my boys are done from school and this is our second day off from school. So we're trying to keep them busy at the same time working and doing other stuff. I wanted to continue talking about different things you could use from your house to facilitate speech and language goals with your children. Last week we spoke about how you could use bubbles and how you could use books to how you could read the books to your kids and how you can use those items with your child and focusing on speech and language goals for your child. Today I'm going to talk about how you could use blocks and how you can use recycled materials like cardboard boxes and paper towel rolls, paper plates, any of those items which you can make different things with it, like crafts, and you can decorate it, you can play games with those and use them with the kids to work on their speech and language goals. So first we're going to talk about how you can use blocks. Now blocks, are different kinds of blocks you can get. It could be Lego blocks, it could be just wooden blocks. I've also used Magna-Tiles with the children. So the different blocks I would see is, one of the blocks I've been using are these, but you can use them for a variety of reasons. You can build garages, you can build a little farmhouse with those, you can make little prisons for the bad guys while you're playing with the superheroes. So I have this little figurines I use with the children, which they love it because that's a superhero. So I have those Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and I try to build different houses with the blocks. I'm going to show you what we do, and I know the camera is going to move a little bit back and forth because I wanted to show you guys how I've been using these things and how it has been very helpful during my therapy sessions, especially doing them on Zoom. So usually the child and I will have a couple of superheroes we want to play with and we will share blocks. So I work on requesting for the blocks. So the parent usually sits with the child since the kid is so little. Not everybody is able to do that, but the parents who are able to do that usually sit next to the child. They request for a block. So, okay, mommy, can you give me 1 block or 2 blocks or 3 blocks, depending on how many blocks they want. And they build different kinds of things with those. So it could be either making farmhouse for the animals. It could be car garages to park their cars. We make little houses for our superheroes. So I'm going to show you one of the houses, my kids and I usually build together, and then we work from there. Give me 1 second. I am going to flip the camera and show you guys. So I have used these, and then we build up language from here. And, we introduce like bad guys. We talk about the characters. We talk about how if we move so-and-so block and how we can figure out what can be the door, what can be the windows. We're talking of different parts of the building structure, which is also very important in terms of the language part. I've also used these working on the articulation goals. So if the child is working on a particular sound or a word, I have the child say that word or say that sound 3 times before we move the character or introduce a new character in there. So these are different ways I have been able to use blocks with the child. This also helps building their imagination, their creativity. I let them be the leader and build whatever they want, and I go with their flow. It really helps with their confidence level. I've found that. And I also work on labeling different things. We put different animals while we're labeling different animals, the farm animals or the zoo animals. We talk about the sounds, we talk about how they look. We talk about the description or the attributes or the functions of those things, so there are different things you can work on while you work with different blocks, and then you add on like little people or animals, whatever you like to do. I also have worked on verbs with those. So put 1 block on the top, on the bottom, that's the preposition part of it. You can put it on the top. Should I put it next to this one? Should I put it next to the superhero? Should I build a garage next to that block? So those are different things I have also worked with while we were doing those different kinds of games with the blocks. I have also used Magna-Tiles. The kids love them. And we have talked about colors. So what color is this? Where should I put it? Should I put it down on the table? Should I keep it straight? So, and then we also have these, so we can talk about these are triangles. And then I have worked on the objective part. So that's a big square and that's a little square. Which one should I use? So I'm asking questions. I'm taking turns with them. We are clarifying information. You know, should I go with the big one? Do you think it's going to work? So working on problem solving skills. So these are different things I have used with the kids in terms of using the Magnetas, the blocks, the superheroes, and I found them really helpful. I had one of the kids during the last few months who loved playing Jenga with the blocks. So we would build up Jenga. So I would use these blocks and put them together like how you usually play Jenga, and take turns taking a block out and working on articulation goals or oromotor exercises or working on a language goals. And while I'm asking questions and doing things with him, he would take out a block, and then we'll see who is able to wait till the end and keep the structure as it is. So we're taking turns. We are saying, we're asking questions. What's next? Whose turn is it? Is it your turn? Is it my turn? What should I do? So a lot of things can be done using just few of these items from your house. Now the next topic I wanted to talk about is how you can use the day-to-day materials. I know everybody's been ordering through Amazon or like Instacart or Stop and Shop, whatever it is, just for the produce, and we were stuck at home for such a long time. So I tried to use a couple of the boxes, make sure they're clean. You don't want to use anything with infection or anything, and if they're nasty I would throw them away. But I have used paper plates, I have used paper cups, bounty rolls, toilet tissue rolls, and cardboard boxes to make different kinds of structures. So I'm going to show you a couple of them, what I did with my kids. I found these activities actually on a couple of channels, and I just used them in my therapy, and the kids seem to love them. So I've used paper plates to play tic-tac-toe games with those, and the kids have loved it. We take turns. We asked whose turn is it. So basically the child will be sitting on the floor. I've used the masking tapes, the paint tapes, which you use. We put it on the floor in a tic-tac-toe fashion and use the plates at tic-tac-toe, and the kids seem to love it. I have also used some of the cardboard boxes. Sorry, this is the pizza delivery box, where we have cut down the shapes. You can see I have a big square, a little one, kind of like it's more like a rectangle, a square, and a triangle, which I cut them down. And then we have some scores written on them. So I have 50, 30, and 20. And I have used this for a lot of activities. I have actually made the kids sit down and build this with me. They have decorated it. They have cut different shapes. They came up with the scores. And we had a car race. We had a ball rolling game, whose ball goes in where and how many points you need. I have played golf with my own boys. So my boys actually made this with me together, and we played golf with this. I have also used paper plates to play frisbee with the kids. So all these different things you can use from your home. I have also wanted to show you, since it's summertime, I made these binoculars with some of my little ones. We cut them into 2 pieces, glued them together with the tape, made a couple of holes, put some string, and just decorated them. And then we went out for scavenger hunt. We were looking for bugs or flowers, different kinds of leaves. How do you think the weather is today? So a lot of language can come out just by using your day-to-day items from your house. It doesn't have to be very fancy or expensive. You can use anything from your house to work on your child's speech and language goals. The kids have, worked on following simple directions. It could be just one-step direction. Okay, take the rule, cut it into 1 piece, so like then building up from 1 step to 2 steps, multi-step directions, asking the child what they did, so seeing if they're able to recall information and give it back to you in a sequential order. That's that's kind of a goal for a lot of kids I have worked with. Also answering a variety of questions. So what were you looking for it? What do you think the binocular does? What do you think we're going to make today? What did you find outside? Did you see a butterfly? What color was the butterfly? Where do you think the butterfly is going? So all these different questions you can ask and build the child's language from there. It could be just a simple goal, getting 2 word utterances, or just labeling simple things, or working on verbs. It's just simple basic stuff with those things. I have also used this kinds of goals, where the child had to make the activity, play with me, and while we were making, we were writing down what we did. So a lot of kids on my caseload had writing goals, formulating grammatically correct sentence structures, using correct punctuation markers, capitalization, parts of speech. So all this you can do just using one simple activity. Making a car garage, playing tic-tac-toe. What do you think? What do you think if I put the X over here? What's going to happen? Should I make a different color? It doesn't have to be X and 0. It could be different colors. You be red and I'll be green. And you can make colors on them. You can decorate them. I have also used just plain cardboard box where the girls actually have put their handprints, and we put a tape on it when we were pretending we were doing our nails. So all these things you can do just by using some day-to-day items from your house. This not only works on kids' creativity and imagination, I think it's more fun. The kids want to do something. They are on Zoom meetings, they're on computer all day. They are so burned out that I feel like the kids needs more hands-on stuff. A lot of kids needs that sensory input of doing things. A lot of my kids like to build Legos. A lot of kids like to play blocks with me. So I like to use all these items from my house for building up their language and speech goals. You can do a lot of things with these. It could be naming, describing, sequencing, following directions, answering WH questions, problem solving. What will happen if we do this? What do you think if I make this hole a little smaller? Do you think the car is going to fit in? How about I need to put it in a different way, so the car can go in a different direction? You're working on math skills. If you're scoring, how much is 30 plus 20? 50. How many more do I need? How many points do you have? How many do I have? Who has more points? Who has less points? So a lot of language goals can be built using just day-to-day items from your house. So today we discussed how we can use blocks. Could be Legos, Magnetas, just regular wooden blocks. I know there are different color blocks you get. I'm sorry, it's in my office. I couldn't show you, but they come in different shapes, red, green, blue, yellow. A lot of kids have them at their house. They're more cylindrical shape, they're rectangle, square, so different shapes, and you can build castle from there. I had one of the kids who was building castle with the blocks and also gave me step-by-step direction how to draw it, which was amazing. And he's so young. I wanted to show you that. This was one of the pictures he told me to make while I was building. So use a square, use a triangle, use a rectangle, put a little square. That's a statue. Use a circle. So a lot of things you can use, and just go with the child's flow. See what the child gives you and use that activity to build the child's language goal. You already know what the kids are working on, so it's very easy, and then just go with their flow. I hope you enjoyed my little webinar on how to use these items with your child. Again, next week I'll be talking about 2 more things, from your immediate environment, what you can use with your child. I hope you enjoyed the class, and please feel free to email me at purbigandhi25@gmail.com, or you can check out my website pgspeechtherapy.com, which has information on today's class. And I'll be putting in blogs every week just for the audience to read and see how they feel. And if you have questions, feel free to shoot me a text or email me, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Also, I would like some feedback on what are some of the things you want to use from your house, and I'll be happy to help you out with those things and how you can use them with your child to build their language and speech goals. All right, friends, I'm going to go and have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you again next Friday. Okay, bye.